It's been a couple of months since my last update on gamedev. I got to work making that practice game I mentioned in the previous video, which you should definitely watch. Learning game development is a very difficult and time-consuming process, so it's important that you don't just copy and paste from tutorials. This is something that many game devs like the Game Makers Toolkit have said in the past. And since I was starting from scratch, I didn't want to waste any time learning the wrong way and just get straight into game development. I only cautiously used tutorials just to get the general idea of the syntax and processes that I use in Unity. Then I went solo and just started experimenting with different mechanics and game ideas. From a tutorial, I did actually just copy the movement system, going left and right and jumping. So then I add increased gravity when falling, so it doesn't feel floaty and the jumping is quite snappy. For my art style, I went for 32 by 32 pixel art style. Originally, I used Krita to design Angry Jim, but then I soon realized that Krita, although it's a very powerful tool, is not the best just for focusing on pixel art. So I looked around on the internet and came across Aseprite. Because I don't want to spend too much money on this game, I downloaded the demo version, LibreSprite. LibreSprite is very good at pixel art because the tools are simple but very intuitive. On LibreSprite, I created a grass tile sheet where I'll be able to easily slap together a level in Unity using a tile grid. The simple grass tiles turned out pretty good, and I made sure that all the tiles seamlessly connected and that I designed connecting tiles as well. The tile sheet is actually available for free on my itch.io page for the low price of liking and subscribing to this video. So you can check it out with a link below to support this work. And if you want to see the full creative process behind the grass tiles, the character sprites and the enemy sprites, check out my second channel, Adventure Art, where I described during a time lapse how I created all the art. The game has two main mechanics, the platform system and simple melee attacking. I soon ran into my first real game dev issue when it came to how the character interacted with the floor and walls. Because I was using a dynamic rigid body to move around the character, adding velocity, I also came across some very weird collisions where the character would just get stuck in the wall or just keep running into it where it just shouldn't really. I tried multiple solutions by adding wall sliding or just ignoring the collision, but nothing seemed to work until a very simple solution came by. Just remove the friction. By adding material with zero friction to the character, all the above problems just magically disappeared, and I was able to keep my old code without drastically changing it. Onto the melee attack system. By watching a quick tutorial by Brackeys, told me to use a physics overlap circle to detect whether an object was in this attack radius and then apply damage to that object. I quickly went back into LibreSprite to design an axe swing for the player. Then I had to design an enemy for Jim to take his anger out onto. In my design plan, I came up with three main monsters. For now, I'm going to start with the slime enemy, which is the very basic monster. The slime monster is slow and has like a medium attack damage, and maybe I'll return to this project and add the remaining enemies. So the main reason for just not copying game tutorials so that you can learn to solve game development issues by yourself. And this shows where I was genius enough to realize using another physics overlap circle for a look radius for the enemy, and then checking if the player was in that look radius and moving the enemy towards the player if detected. Currently all the enemy can do is just move left to right, but maybe in the future I will try to add jumping. But hey, it's a start. So the main mechanics of the game are roughly created, and on my itch.io page you'll be able to find the first version of this game for free, so you can check it out and give any feedback. Maybe in the future I'll make updates and sequels for this game, because I think I have a very interesting concept here. I never actually really got onto the rage bar and health system, so expect a video later in the year addressing that, but for now it's time to get cracking on the main project. And if you don't know what's going on, make sure you watch these videos and I'll catch you in the next one.